Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Our topic is the significance of Hajj. Before we start talking about Hajj as a pilgrimage, we need to understand the period in which Prophet Abraham proclaimed Hajj among the people. As the Quran says, Azzin fin nase bil hajj yatuka rijalan wa ala kulli dhamirin yatina min kulli fajjin amiq. This is from the Quranic chapter Hajj, and the verse is 27. So when Abraham proclaimed, as the verse goes, proclaim the Hajj to people, Yatuka, they shall come to you on foot and on lean camels and from distant places. This is the proclamation. So we need to actually look at the period when it happened. Abraham lived around 2000 BC. That is 4,000 years ago from now. And we know that before him, the prophet Noah had already proclaimed the worship of a single God, the Creator. And Abraham was his follower, as the Quran says, Inna min shiyatihi la Ibrahim. Surely among the followers of Noah was Abraham. So he continued that tradition of worship of one God. And God ordered both Abraham and Ishmael, his son, to build the Kaaba for prayer and worship of one God and to cleanse it for those who come to circumambulate it. So with this order, we find Abraham proclaiming Hajj to the people. The period, as we know, both during the time of Prophet Noah, which continued up to the time of Abraham. Abraham lived part of his life with Prophet Noah at the fag end of his 950-year life, as we have it in the books, both of the Old Testament and in the Jewish tradition as well. So when we look at this, this was the period when monotheism, Tawheed, was being established as the basis of faith, as the basis of religion. And in it, now for the first time, a group activity, a pilgrimage for all people around was being proclaimed. This is the first and the most ancient pilgrimage among all religions in the world, 4,000 years ago, even before the time of the Rig Veda. And here we have this, that Prophet Abraham is announcing it for the people at large. We know that there were hardly any people, about 8 they say, in the Bible, who were on the ark of Noah. Maybe some more were there whose name have not been mentioned. But there was not a big community at all. There were animals and other things, but the number of people were very, very few. So there was no sense of community, a large community being formed during the period of Prophet Noah. But now Abraham is forming a community. As the Quran says, Abraham was a nation himself. kana ummatan qanitan lillah. Ibrahim was a nation who was obedient to his Lord and a pure one in his worship, and was surely not among the polytheists, the mushrikeen. This is the way the Quran moves forward. So now, when we want to understand this, that the pilgrimage is being done, is being announced, and the person announcing it is a person who has fought for monotheism, who has lived his life obeying God, who has been pure in his worship, who has been the follower of the first major prophet, that is Noah, and lived a part of his initial life with him. And this is the person who is being tested by God, as it says in verse 124 of Surah Baqarah, that when the Lord tested Abraham with certain words and he fulfilled them, he said, I am appointing you as an imam for mankind. I am making you an imam for mankind. This is the Abraham. This is the Abraham who has been tested by God, who has fulfilled the dream, the vision which he had, and has taken his son, who has agreed to be sacrificed. And surely you will find me among the patient, inshallah, says his son Ishmael, when he is going to be sacrificed as per the vision which Abraham had. And when everything was ready, God announces that you have fulfilled your vision and we have ransomed it for a great sacrifice. All these are verses from the Quran. This is Abraham. And we now find the proclamation saying, they should come to you. Proclaim the Hajj to people. They shall come to you. It's not said to the Kaaba. It is said they will be coming to you. The centrality of the person is being highlighted. It is the person in the form of Ibrahim, who is a nation, who is an obedient servant of his Lord, who is pure in his worship, who has been tested and has been made an imam to mankind, who is the epitome of goodness in all forms, who has been tested by fire, as they say. When Nimrod planned to burn him in the fire, and he was saved by God. It is the spiritual aspect of a ritual which makes a ritual what it is. Remove the spiritual and you have a dead ritual. You have a dead ritual. And spirituality can never come in material form. The Kaaba, as we have it in the Hadith, the honor of a moment in the eyes of God is more than that of the Kaaba, which is an ancient house. The Quran says Baitun Atiq, the most ancient house of worship, of one Lord, of one God, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This condition of pureness is only possible in a human being tested and tried by God. And he becomes the center of the Hajj. And if there are not people like Ibrahim today to be present during the Hajj, then the Hajj will convert itself into a dead ritual, as it is happening. And the spiritual benefit of it, لَيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ, so that people may find benefits for themselves. As the verse goes forward, verse number 28 of Surah Hajj, the one after the 27th which I just recited, then there is no manfaat, there is no benefit. This is the biggest problem of today's world. It was a big problem of yesteryears also, where we find that the person himself representing those values of purity, of obedience, I'm just using words from the Quran for Abraham, is lost to the world. And with him is lost the purpose of the ritual. The ritual will continue. The ritual will be there. But sans the human factor which is close to divinity and working with a divine plan is lost. And which it goes everything good about it. We have that famous talk between Farasdak, the poet, with Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, where Farasdak says, "Oh Imam, just look at the numbers of Hajis who have come." And the Imam says, Khillatul Hajij wa Kasratul Ajij. A large number of people who are making noises, but very few of them who are Hujjaj and Hajis. This is what we see during the period of the fourth Imam, where he himself is saying, the people making noises are more than the people come with an earnest desire of moving forward and realizing a spiritual state through it, and then going back to their places and raising the level of spirituality of those who have been unable to come to the Hajj pilgrimage. That was the basis on which this pilgrimage was announced. If you take it away, you take away the life of the pilgrimage. And if you bring it in, you bring in and give it the life, which was the real purpose for proclaiming Hajj by Prophet Abraham. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.